Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Byju's IAS. We'll start in a minute. Hopefully, I'm audible. I'm good, Rakesh. Hopefully, I'm audible. We'll start in a minute. Yes. Let other friends join. Anyone who is coming for the first time, yes, Shargun, we will start that. Is it uploaded right now, Faiza? Hi, Sid. Good evening, Kambapati. I think there was some technical issues day before yesterday and yesterday. Hello, Sandhya. Okay, yes, Aditya. I'll be taking that also. Those who are new, please drop a mail because you are starting from the 8th lecture. And I will tell you how to go about the rest of the thing. Nikki, there was a change in the schedule. Governance was pushed for a later date. Ankur, write a mail to me. Hi, Aditya, I'm good. Abhishek, write the mail. No, Faiza. Great, Gib. See, those who have gone through the recordings and attending the first time the classes, great. Anyone else having any issue, all of you, any issue, Rakesh, that's not for you, leave it. Everyone, please drop mail to me. You have my mail ID. Great, Gib. Each one of you, every day I give you my mail ID as the first thing. I do not want you people to waste your time facing problem in anything. Please write mail to me wherever you find any problem with regards to your lecture. I'll get it resolved as quickly as possible. Am I clear? This much is clear. Okay. Now, those who have attended Friday's lecture. Yeah, Shravani, that's the case. Those who attended Friday's lecture, everyone, you remember, we have done the entire chapter of economic history except one topic. All of you, what is that topic which is pending? Three stages of capitalism. Now, all of you, mercantile, industrial, financial. Aman, it should be there. I told you, there was some glitch in the app. I think it's done. Abdullah, write a mail to me. Okay. They will look into this. All of you now, please focus on the lecture right now. Everyone, basically, guys, all of you, if you remember, we studied everything like drain of wealth, deindustrialization, revenue collection methods, railways, etc., etc. Now, all that is the 190 years of the British rule, has been divided into three phases by the historian whose name is R.P. Dutt. Rajni Palme Dutt. This man divides the entire 190 years into three phases. Everyone: mercantile phase, industrial phase, financial phase. Now, please, we will see this one by one, all these three phases. For example, all of you, we start the first phase and say it ended in 1813. Now, all of you, you have studied, this year happened Palasi, and this you will study today, came a very, very important Charter Act. Now, this phase is also known as period of monopoly trade and direct appropriation. All of you, do you remember we had studied that initially all these people, they had only one objective? Each one of you, do you remember this word or not? Monopoly. Everyone, do you remember this word or not? Monopoly. Mono, one. Nobody likes any competitors, so they all want that everything should be only with them. They should have a trade supremacy. That's the quest for everyone. So all of you, tell me one thing. Each one of you, will I be correct to say in this phase, British wanted to acquire monopoly of trade in India? All of you, will I be correct to say that this is the objective? Everyone, will I be correct to say or not that this is the objective? And guys, will I be correct also to say that to achieve this, they eliminated both European plus Indian competitors? Each one of you, do you remember or not? Who are the European competitors? We studied in this case French, and the French had fought Carnatic Wars. Similarly, we studied Bengal, Mysore, Marathas. All this we had studied in this phase. Everyone, is this clear or not? All of you, is this much clear or not? Absolutely clear? Now, everyone, tell me one thing. If I am asked to tell you characteristics of this phase, everyone tell me, did the British start railway in this phase? All of you tell me, did they make any big roads? Rashmi, you are wrong. They did not start means no basic change in transport and communication. Yes, Kambapati. All of you, you have not studied this here, but everyone tell me, who is, in your opinion, the first greatest social reformer? You have not studied, yet I am asking. Who is the first greatest social reformer? Raja Ram Mohan Roy? Everybody is, mostly people are giving the answer. And guys, what Raja Ram Mohan Roy did, all of you, which major thing Raja Ram Mohan Roy did? Thank you, Ghulam Mustafa. Sati abolishment. Now, each one of you, maybe you don't know, tell me one thing. Still, I'm asking, when was Sati abolished? Do you have any idea when was Sati abolished? 1829. So, guys, can I say in this phase, no major change in social or intellectual field, that is, no reforms, nothing of that sort was happening. But everyone, you have studied that one major thing that happened here was they began the drain of wealth. In fact, almost 2 to 3% of Britain's national income came from India. And we studied that day, this helped in their industrial revolution. All of you, am I clear or not? Till here. No, Aditya. Guys, those who are asking, some people are asking, sir, why they did not do this? Why they did not do this? Everyone, you all tell me, were the British not busy in this at this moment? They are busy in all these wars. They are trying to establish themselves in India. Do you think at this moment they will be able to do anything of this sort? Everyone, tell me. Yes, Gib, that's also correct. Yes, Kambapati, absolutely. Now, everyone, yes, Aditya, I will show you one statement. Each one of you, please look at these two lines. Everyone, please look at these two lines and tell me, how is it possible that on one hand, no large scale of British import, rather export increase, and yet we was getting ruined? Supreet, correct? Still think more. How many of you did not understand this? No, Shrikant. I'm not referring to that here. Okay. Each one of you, see here. My first part of the statement says that at this moment, no major import of British goods in India. All of you, why I'm saying that? Because Take example of Rohit Kumar. He is an Indian man who is right now in the habit of wearing Indian made goods or Indian made clothes. So basically, there is no demand for Indian goods at this, or for British goods at this moment. But then everyone, you all have studied that European market always wanted to have more and more cotton and silk textiles from India. So everyone, don't you think that the British traders took these goods in a large quantity to sell them in the European market? Each one of you, is this line clear or not? But then, when they took these goods with them, the profit by selling these goods went in the pockets of English, did not come in the pocket of Indians. It never came in the pocket of Indians. In fact, they would buy these clothes at a cheaper rates and sell them at higher rates in abroad. So all of you, do you get this point? And is these 2 points clear to you people right now? Everyone, are these 2 points clear to you people right now? Okay, now how many of you have any idea about something called Charter Act? Guys, have we ever studied Charter Act? Yes, Faiza, absolutely. Industrial Revolution happened in 1750s. Okay, guys, where did we study Charter Acts? All of you, tell me, where did we study Charter Acts? Faiza is correct. We had studied them in 1600 and 1609. Arrival of European chapter. Now, each one of you, tell me one thing. Everyone, do you remember this charter was given by King James I? What was written in this charter? That East India Company has a monopoly over trade to the east of Cape of Good Hope route. All of you, do you remember? 1600 gave for 15 years. 1609 had given it for indefinite period. Do you remember, everyone? Thank you. Now, guys, 1793, another Charter Act was brought. Now, all of you, please understand one thing I'm telling you very clearly, and tell me, did you understand this thing or not? All the Charter Acts we will study 2 times. One, today, when we will study them from economy point of view. And once again, when we will study them from constitution point of view. Am I clear, everyone? Please be very, very clear. 2 times all the Charter Acts we will study. Today we will only see those economy related points. So for example, this charter said, and all the Charter Acts were passed by British Parliament. So Charter Acts were passed by British Parliament. Guys, their most important point here was that they said salary of the staff of board of control plus home government members will all be paid from Indian revenue. Everyone, what is this phenomena called? That the salaries of their officers who are employed in India, their salary will come from Indian revenue. What do we call this? Thank you, Raj. This is nothing but an example of, all of you, will you admit it or not? Everyone, is it drain of wealth or not? Everybody agrees? Best example of drain of wealth can be seen here. One more point, guys. EIC got the power to issue license to any individual and company employee. Those who are EIC's employee, license for to trade in India. So all of you, we know we studied it on Friday. In fact, we studied it on Thursday. We have already completed that part of the chapter. We are in the last part. This was the beginning of this chapter. Everyone, for example, Rohit Kumar is a company employee, East India Company's employee. They gave me the permission that if Rohit Kumar wants, he can do trade in India. And guys, what did I start doing trade? Opium, you remember? All of you. You remember opium? Afim, yes. I got that opium I started selling to China. We had studied opium in the first chapter, Arrival of Europeans. We already studied this. So now I got the power to sell opium to China. And you will study in some time what will happen here. Everyone, is this clear? All of you. The first phase, mercantile phase, is this clear or not? Opium is Afim, Aditya. We could, it was giving a lot of profit. So the European employees in India, they started doing the trade of opium. They would sell it to China. Chaitanya, we talked now. It is both a drug in the form of intoxicant as a form of medicine. Okay, everyone. Now I'll give you a very practical example. No, sell, Faza. Each one of you, please understand. I'll give you a very practical example. Tell me whether you understand or not. 1750s. All of you. Industrial Revolution happened. Okay? Guys, Rohit Kumar made a lot of money from this revolution. Now, guys, let's say this year is now 1813. And instead of Rohit Kumar, it is his grandson who is doing business here. Each one of you. He is unhappy. All of you tell me, will you all agree or not that Rohit Kumar's grandson would have made a lot of money because his grandfather had made a lot of money? And now why is he unhappy? Because EIC has a monopoly over trade in India. All of you, don't you think Rohit Kumar's grandson would be like, why should only East India Company do the trade? Give us also the power to go to India. All of you, do you admit it or not? Everyone, this concept, I don't know how many of you understand. All of you, have you heard about laissez-faire? Every one of you, have you heard laissez-faire? In simple words, no intervention of government. So guys, my grandson is saying government should not make these rules. Give us freedom. Whoever is best will do business in India. One more reason why it was happening at this moment was, guys, around this time, Napoleon had adopted a policy named Continental System. And this Continental System, under which Napoleon had closed the European ports for British, were creating a lot of losses for British traders. So all of you, you can easily understand that the British traders who were having so much losses in Europe, they wanted to come to India, do the business. And that is why each one of you, see here, this and this were the reasons that companies' monopoly over India's trade was terminated, except tea trade and trade with China. All of you, do you get this point or not? Now everyone, Supreet, Ravi, Kambapati, Tanveer, whoever wants to do business in India, they can do business. Company does not have monopoly over Indian trade except for two things. So I explained it again. In these two places, company still has the monopoly. Rest of the places, no longer any monopoly. No, Gib. Tea trade, mainly China had opium, but you cannot directly say opium only. Each one of you, can you understand this point? This is basically start of industrial phase through Charter Act of 1813. All of you, UPSC has already asked a PYQ on this line. Faiza, you cannot completely end everything. No. Aditya, you cannot do business on tea. You cannot do business with China. These two are reserved for East India Company. Rest, you can do any business. Everyone, is this clear? Yes, all these charter acts are for 20 years. So last Charter Act was also for, this charter was also for 20 years. This charter is also for 20 years. Now each one of you, apart from this, they clearly said that Crown is sovereign when it comes to India. Clearly specified the constitutional position through this. Rest for everyone, Gib. Rest for everyone. Everyone, am I clear? Crown is sovereign. Rest, anyone can do anything. Aditya, we will study that in education chapter, not here. So guys, industrial phase is also known as colonialism of free trade. And this phase, as you all can see, I talked to you through this example. This is nothing but the fact that industrial revolution gave birth to this industrial capitalists who were critical of EIC only having power to do business in India. Now, everyone, why do we call it free trade? Because India's economy got integrated with British and the world economy. Everyone, do you all admit this point or not? Our economy is now merged or aligned with the British economy, which in itself was aligned with the world economy. Number two, all import duties were totally removed or drastically reduced. We studied it on Thursday and Friday. British have removed all these things. Everyone, do you all remember in this phase, Ryotwari system was introduced? Guys, where we studied the traditional agrarian system being changed to capitalist. If you all recall, in this phase, guys, if anyone has any doubt, this phase is basically from 1813 to 1860. Friday's class we studied that the British introduced railways and telegraph in this phase. All of you, why was railways and telegraph introduced? Remember, railways was introduced in this phase to transport raw materials, and we also studied finished goods. All of you, raw material will go which side? To port, and finished goods to interior of town. Everyone, did we study all this or not on Thursday? Now, everyone, tell me, though you have not studied, but think, do you need some educated people for running this administration or not? For collection of taxes, for maintenance of railway and telegraph. So guys, when we will study the education chapter, you will study for modern education 1 lakh rupees was given. Now everyone tell me, last thing I'm asking you, all of you tell me. Don't write anything, tell me one thing. This clearly you can see British are spending money. In Ryotwari system also, for the collection of tax, they will hire people like Aditya, Awadh, Rakesh. For railways also, that day we studied, they did a lot of investment. Now everyone tell me, if the British are doing so much of investment, will they take out money also from somewhere or not? But they are not my best friend that they are investing and only investing. So guys, yes, Ramesh is absolutely correct. For all this taxation burden on peasants was risen like anything. Everyone, we studied na that day, Ryotwari system, only cash would be collected. Is it clear? All of you, is the second phase in this slide clear? Yes, Simran. Everyone, only one point. East India Company lost its monopoly over tea and China trade. Is this clear? We studied now here two exceptions. Now, those two exceptions are also done with. Everyone. And one prelims point you should remember. This is also known as St. Helena Act. All of you, two questions I have got. People are asking, number one, sir, why are the Britishers? Guys, people are asking me two questions. One, people are asking why EIC lost its monopoly, and the other question is why this act is also known as St. Helena Act. Yes, Faiza. See, guys, EIC's role was reducing with every day, and Crown was controlling more and more power. So this had gone down. And St. Helena, everyone, do you know what is this? All of you, do you know what is this St. Helena Act? All of you, St. Helena is a island where who was kept? Napoleon was kept in jail in this island. According to this law, this land or this island was also gifted to the Queen. So that's why it is also known as St. Helena Act. Last for this, everyone, nothing major. It is in Atlantic, Mari. Nothing major happened. This is last Charter Act, and it had mentioned indefinite period. No 20 years. Every charter was for 20. This did not mention. So all of you, anyone who came slightly late also, do not think that you do not have to study this charter. This is very, very important when we do the Constitution chapter. This is not important in economy point. Am I clear? This chapter, it might not be important. Next chapter, when I'm doing constitution, it is very, very important. All of you, yes, for this chapter, everyone, for this chapter, this is the most important topic for this chapter. Am I clear, everyone? All of you. Financial phase of capitalism. That's very, they gave up now, Vinod, 1833. All of you. Other name. Thank you, Aditya. Everyone, see, let me tell you guys. GIB, they are only managing the administration. Some, Gaurav, but very few, at a very local level. Each one of you, tell me one thing. Very simple thing. For 2 minutes, just listen to me, and this topic will be very clear. How many of you have done world history ever? Anyone in this class who has ever done world history? Okay, Aditya has done. Pooja. Okay, those who have done, no issues. But then everyone, those who have not even studied, tell me one thing. Am I correct when I say Britain was the first country where industrial revolution happened? Am I correct, all of you? Okay. And guys, I hope I'm also correct when I say this happened in 1750s. Now, after 1800, that is in the next century, many other countries of Europe, USA, Japan, all of them did industrial revolution. Will I be correct or not, guys? And don't you think, everyone, they started challenging Britain? Everyone. Okay. Now, guys, how are they challenging? For colonies. Everyone, India is what? A colony. Important for Britain because it gives them raw material as well as market for finished goods. So all of you, don't you think that European countries like later Germany, USA, Japan, they will also want more and more colonies? Everyone, is this point clear? Yes, Aditya. France also. I'm not well. I'm really sorry. I'll be coughing, so I'm really, really sorry. I cannot help. No, I'm not well. I'm really not well, but I cannot help. So I'll be coughing, but I'm really sorry. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Now, everyone tell me, will I be correct to say in this phase, everyone, please look at the years. Guys, in this phase, there was discovery of petroleum. There was start of use of electricity. No, Aditya, let's continue. Everyone, you all admit or not that petroleum was discovered in this phase. Electricity was used in this phase for the first time. Now, guys, think about this. Petroleum, don't you think the day petroleum was used, maybe this distance earlier would have been covered in 1 day, now might have been covered in 6 hours? So all these discoveries, they increase the pace of industrialization, plus they invariably unified the world economy. Now, everyone tell me. Hopefully, this much is clear. Now, do you think India is important for Britain? Very, very important. And everyone tell me here. When there is a competition, no, Gaurav. Think, guys, everyone, when there is a competition for colonies, tell me, everyone, don't you think there would be a big worry for Britain that other countries may try to take over India? Everyone, they would try, na? They would be worried. Britain would be worried. That's why, if you remember, we studied, for example, Anglo-French rivalry, Anglo-Russian rivalry. So all of you, can I say Britain tried to consolidate their power over India? Brought imperialistic viceroys, like example is, we will study Lytton, Curzon, Dufferin. They were bad rulers. And guys, many of you might have studied, Britain came with the idea of, all of you, have you heard about this? The white man's burden. Everyone, have you studied or have you heard about this or not? Britain is showing or telling the whole world that, see, we good people have come to India to reform Indians, because the Indians, they are very, very outdated. They are barbaric people. Guys, Britain came up with the idea of permanent trusteeship. They said that Indians, they are permanently immature. That is, Indians are children and they need what? British control. Yes, Aditya and Pooja. Guys, they are saying Indians require British control. If there is no British control, Indians may not be able to rule themselves. Am I clear? Aditya, that ended way early. So everyone, we have studied. Remember, in this phase, what did British do? Maximum amount of deindustrialization. Some industries did start, but that was mainly partial industrialization. Mostly our cottage industries, they were ruined at this point. Our industries, everyone, we have studied this. You can remember, our industries were never replaced or never developed because Britain was worried that their, industries may shut down. If there is a parallel industry in India, they were worried that their industries would completely collapse. And this is the reason, if you all remember, guys, in this phase, few select capitalists were allowed to establish industries. Otherwise, they would not encourage Indians to start industries. They would never ever encourage industries to be started by us. So one Tata, one Birla might be an exception. Other than that, they usually did not start industries, or they did not allow Indians to run industries in those days. Am I clear, everyone? Gaurav, from the second phase, Rayotwari onwards. So each one of you, this was which page number? 4th. Yes, Aditya. Everyone, we are done with the first topic for the day. Am I clear with the 3 phases of capitalism in India? Each one of you, am I clear? Yes, Priyanshu. Even now it is produced in many places, but under the government supervision. No, cough and cold, Faza. Okay. Now, everyone, for a minute. Tanvir, I did not get your point. Each one of you, anyone who has missed out anything earlier, please write the mail. If you have queries regarding your optionals, please write mail. If you have questions regarding chronology video, please write the mail. If you have, how many of you found out the PYQs? What, Tanvir, what do you want to be repeated? Permanent trusteeship, that the British guardianship should continue over Indians. That's the thing. Please write the mail. I'll answer over there. Gib, write that thing. Neil, I told you, if you do not get anything, write the mail. I have already replied everyone for the PYQs. Puneet, write. Faza, I cannot say for that. Live classes of certain subjects were last year started also, like for PSIR, there was live classes. Gaurav, write the mail. I'll send it to you. Bemi, write it. No, Dilip. Not well. Everyone, our new module. Mari, I did not get your point. Kashish, write the mail. I'll send you the location. Each one of you, everyone, please listen to me very carefully. In the previous chapter, we have done today the 3 stages of capitalism. Before that, we did reign of wealth, deindustrialization, some modern industries being started, revenue collection methods, and commercialization of agriculture. Now we are starting a very, very interesting chapter, socio-religious reform movements in our India in 19th century. Supreet, what's your question? See, if you all see here, guys, can you look at this slide? Everyone, Supreet will do that later in the new module. Anyways, I used to do only civil service, so we'll do that later. Civil service will be done later. All of you tell me, everyone, am I correct when I say that the women in 19th century India faced these 11 problems? No, Gaurav, it's already uploaded, I think. It's uploaded. Each one of you, any problem which you don't understand. Out of these 11, guys, tonsure means, those who are not understanding this, cleaning off hair. Like this. The ladies would be asked to remove their hair from their head. So the widows would usually be asked to do this. Those who do not understand superstition, in Hindi we call it Andhvishwas. For example, a lot of times, if there is a young widow, husband has died, and the lady is very young, she would be seen as inauspicious. That is, she will not be allowed to come in any of the good occasions. Like if there is a marriage, she would be asked, you remain away. And many times, under this, there was a phenomena called witchcraft. Have you heard this or not, guys? Have you heard witchcraft? No, Aditya. These sati is only for Hinduism. Tonsure is for Hinduism only. Those who are asking about, those who do not understand witchcraft, widows, usually they would be branded as witch and they would be ostracized from society. Those who are asking what, please tell it in Hindi. It means Dayan. They would be, removed from the society, would be asked to stay away from everyone. Guys, condition of widow, those who are not understanding, moment husband has died, the lady would be expected to leave everything that gives her happiness. All of you, for example, a widow lady should wear white or black clothes only. She would be asked to give up, let's say, jewelry or any form of makeup, asked to get bald, her hair would be cut. You all know, for ladies, their long hair, it's a very important aspect of their beauty. So they would be asked to get bald, give up the non-veg food. Food restrictions would be there. Similarly, in Hindus, for example, no sindoor on forehead. And sometimes they might even be asked to stay out of the house. Main house, they would not be allowed to remain. Everyone, am I clear with the bad situation of the videos? No, Aditya, you cannot say when did this all begin. These all are the bad aspects of our society, which slowly and slowly started to creep in. Yes, I told you jewelry, no? Dilip, I said jewelry. Faiza, no. Let me have. Okay, everyone. Are these 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 clear? Not everything started there only, Aditya. Yeah, Pooja, that is clear. Guys, polygamy is basically having more than one partner. That is, having more than one husband or having more than one wife is basically polygamy. So in those days, a lot of times the women, their husbands would have married multiple times. A lot of reasons might be there. I'm not justifying anything. I'm only telling you that. Guys, polygyny and polyandry, these are the terms. For example, if more than one husband, then this is referred as polyandry. Guys, the best example of this, you all, in if you have some idea, in Mahabharata, there is a character named Draupadi. She has 5 husbands. Now, a lot of times, having more than one wife would be mainly because of the fact that they would have the preference for male child, or the first wife would not have given the child. That's how the thing would be. Everyone, all of you, first of all, understand one thing very clearly. If I'm explaining point number 10, however number of times you write point 8, point 11, point 8, point 11, can I explain that? Let me explain one point, then write. Then you will not understand point number 10 and you will again ask me this. And I'm not going to repeat this thing. Those who do not understand female infanticide. Guys, because in Hindus mainly there would be a preference for male child, and the female child would appear to be a burden because their marriages would cost a lot. So a lot of female, they would be killed at a very young age. Yes, Pooja. Yes, Gaurav. Please understand, guys, female infanticide is one of the reasons that the sex ratio in our country has been continuously going down. Of course, it has come up in the last few years, but it has been poor. Polygamy, absolutely, guys, is practiced in Muslims and even in Hindus, though it is banned in Hindus, but there have been cases where it has been practiced. Am I clear? No, Devansh, please understand. In earlier days, you could never know what was the sex of the child in the womb of the mother. Nowadays, you have this machines called ultrasound and all, which can give the sex, or tell the sex here. But then the government has also banned this. PCPNDT Act was brought, under which the revealing of the sex of the child was totally banned. Yes, Supreet, we already talked about that. Yes, Hayat. See, unfortunately, in our country, for the lure of the male child, a lot of male, they would, keep on having babies, and many a times they would even go for, ask their wives to go for abortions. Guys, those who do not understand parda, yeah, Anurag, parda is basically, you know, the logic or the idea in those days was that the female and male, they should be segregated. So in houses, the parda is curtain in English. Curtains would be hung to separate the female and the male, and similarly for dress also it would be there. So you can see, for example, a lot of times ghungat. In Hindus, you will see ghungats are there. On the forehead, the ladies would keep this. Similarly, in Muslims also, hijab could be there. Now, guys, for those who are asking what is my view on parda, see, if you ask me, my idea here is that at the end of the day, this should be the decision made by the women. What a woman wants to wear should not be dictated by anyone else. I understand at certain places, like if you are going to, let's say, temple, or you are going to a mosque, there are certain, I would say, rules and regulations. There are certain ideas. But beyond that, you know, none of us should have this thing that we should be dictating the lady that this is correct or this is incorrect. The choice should always be with the woman who is wearing that. None or nobody else has to have a say in that. That's my feeling, my idea. And I'm very clear. You can disagree with that also. I don't have a problem with that. Everyone, hopefully, dowry system is clear. Hopefully, child marriage is clear. Each one of you, am I clear with this whole problems faced by the women? Everyone? No, I will explain, Sati. Give me 1 minute. Those who do not understand child marriage, see, guys, in those days, at a very young age, 4-year girl will be married to 9-year boy. At times, even 9-year girl would be married to, let's say, a 55-year-old man. So all these things would happen. Children would be married at a very, very young ages. So that would be a big problem in those days. Even today, in the North Indian states like Bihar, UP, etc., a lot of child marriages can be seen. But that is mainly because of the, I would say, your, what do you call this, security concerns, specifically amongst the lower classes. And poor people, there would be a lot of child marriages which is done. Those who do not understand dowry system, I think, Rakesh, you should be knowing this. In Hindi, we call it Dahej. Now, in this class, a lot of you would be sitting, and I'm very sure There would be people right from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu and people from Gujarat to Bengal. Trust me, guys, except for one state of Chhattisgarh, I have traveled and I have taught in all the major states from Kashmir till Tamil Nadu and from Gujarat till Assam. And there is not a single state where people have said that in their states dowry system is not practiced. It is only in the states of Northeast where dowry system is not practiced, where there is a matrilineal society. Jammu, Hayat. And trust me, guys, now new forms of dowry system have come. No, it's not religious. Supreet, trust me, guys, there is nothing religious about dowry. It is simply an act of greed. Putting pressure on the female or the girl family to gift as much as possible. And no, Gaurav, I don't think so. Earlier in the form of money, land, car, now a lot of gifts, good marriage, all this is done. Even though the government has banned dowry, but still it is practiced in different forms, and that's an unfortunate aspect because the expectation has to be that with so much of education percolating in the society, dowry system and such things should come to an end. Everyone, am I clear with this? All of you, any doubt with this? No, I'm not saying these are the only problems. There are many other. Yes, guys, in Muslims also it is there, but then that's, meher and, that's slightly different thing, but leave it. Guys, again, coming back to this, there are other problems also like untouchability or caste system. These are also the problems faced by the women also. Yeah, Anurag, these are the big social evils. It keeps on happening, Aditya. Yeah, Priyanshu, please see it. For those who are asking about dowry, sati, everyone please see this picture. Sati is basically where after the death of the husband, you can see the husband is in the funeral pyre, the wife is expected to jump into this funeral pyre and die. You all can see at this moment people are celebrating because this lady is depicting herself to be a pure and virtuous woman. She wants to show that even after the death of her husband, she wants to continue her conjugal union with her husband. That she wants to stay with her husband only even after the death. Prithvi mentioned it in the doubts. All of you, please understand, those who are asking about Johar. Johar and Sati are no issues, Prithvi. Just mention it over there. These are two different things. Johar is something that happened in medieval era, where when the Islamic, attackers would be attacking specifically the Rajput girls after their husbands would have lost in the war. They would do this mass suicide. Yes, sati is only practiced in Hindus. Sati is only a Hindu thing. So, Johar is a large scale suicide which is done, mass suicide, in order to save their chastity, their honor. The Rajput girls would do this. On the other hand, this other thing is where one or two. Again, no, see, please understand. See, this is in the Hindus, but then its origin is somewhere between 5th to 9th century AD. It's not mentioned in any of your old Hindu textbooks, not mentioned over there. But then got prevalent as a big level, at a big level, in the British times in Bengal, Madras, and even Bombay, and mainly in Bengal, where it was mostly practiced amongst the Kuleen class of people. Kuleen means the upper class, the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas. They would be doing this. That would be the case. They would be performing it over here. Everyone, see, guys, again, I have not gone through any of your these movies, so I'll not be, talking about that. I'm not, you know, going to do this thing. Give have patience. Don't worry about that. You are attending your first class. I said at the very beginning, I'll take extra class, but I'll not increase my speed. Everyone, problems are clear. All of you, problems are totally clear. See, at the very beginning, I told you about the problems so that we will keep on seeing them. And again, I will not be explaining that. Oh, Gib, I think, Gib, from your side, some problem is there. Our side, everything is clear. Because nobody else is complaining. Guys, take a break at this point. I need break more than you people right now. It is 6:19. Go for a break till 6:30. Give me some rest. I need more than you today. Sorry. Take some break. Everyone, am I audible? Faza, it is still some time, at least 4 5. Okay, everyone, let us begin. Which page I was there when it comes to notes? Just give me 1 second. Fourth page. Okay. Everyone, please understand. My first point, and this is something that I should tell you at the very beginning. In this chapter, do not study and do not research a lot. That is how, whatever I have told you in the class, that is more than sufficient. Why I'm telling you that, why it is more than sufficient, is because in this chapter on everyone, you will get a lot of, I would say, information. Hundreds of information will be there. But this is not possible for you people to remember, because in this class, if you will see, we will study Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then let's say Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Derozio, then Keshav Chandra Sen, Devendranath Tagore, then Swami Vivekanand, Ram Krishna Mission or Paramhans. So there would be many reformers would be there. Getting my point? So my suggestion to you all would be that please do not do a lot of research in this chapter. Now, I named a few people just now. Please understand that all the movements that we will study, they will come under two topics: reformist or revivalist. Everyone, all the movements that we are going to study in this chapter, they either come under this or this. Now, as you all can see, reformist comes from the word reform, revivalist comes from the word revival. Reformist, best example is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He basically is a person who says that, again I'll change, according to the time, time has changed. So according to the time, similarly, scientific temper of the modern era, we need to have some changes. On the other hand, revivalists, as you all can see, the word is revival. They are saying, let's revive old system. And their example is, let's say, Arya Samaj, Deoband. These people are revivalists. So their point is, as well as their point is, that the religions have lost purity and thus they need to be reformed. Everyone, am I clear about this or not? Both of them are saying that our religions, there is some problem in our religion. They have lost their purity, and that is why we need to reform it. So, guys, the question now comes, then why are we placing them in two portions? That is because they both have a difference. Difference mean degree to which they rely on tradition or on reason. Revivalists, they rely more on tradition, the other side relies more on the reasoning. Everyone, am I clear? All the movements that we shall study would fall, some may be both also, revivalist also, reformist also. Some would be either reformist, some would be either revivalist. All of you, is this clear? Now everyone, look at these 5 causes. Guys, these are the 5 causes that leads to all this chapter, that is of the socio-religious reform movement. How many of you don't understand any of these points? Any one of you who does not understand any of these points? Fourth, third, okay, good. Aditya, in some places it's not that important. Each one of you. Rakesh, we just now completed that. All the ills we have just now talked. Everyone, the British, the Christian missionaries, I'm sorry, they came to India. But the problem was that they mainly came for the promotion of Christian religion. They were mainly involved in conversion of the Indians, Hindus or the Muslims to Christianity. So invariably, I'm sorry, invariably, the Indians started to feel pessimistic towards their work. We were very, very unhappy with the work that was being done by the Christian missionaries. Everyone, am I clear? I'm not sure here what you are asking. Similarly, all of you, French Revolution. French Revolution gave us the idea of, let's say, liberty, equality. All of you think, till yesterday, I belonging to a person who would be from lower caste, I'm not considered to be equal to a person belonging to upper caste. So I would be sitting way, way away from, let's say, the upper caste people. But after the revolutions like the French revolutions, what is happening is that I also have got the idea about equality. I'm also talking about the ideas like liberty. Is this clear? Vinod, I don't know what you are asking. Absolutely, I don't know what you are asking, Vinod. What is the problem in modern education? I don't think there is any problem. There is absolutely no problem. Everyone, is this clear? Pessimistic is opposite of optimistic, Lakshmi. That you are not being optimistic. Optimism is not there. Modern education is a cause because modern education was brought by the British. We studied just now in the previous chapter. They gave 1 lakh rupees in 1813 Charter Act for this. And once you are getting modern education, you are studying the Western ideas and all. So you also started talking about the reforms. Everyone, if this is fifth, I've explained point number 6 in this only. We are starting with the first man. All of you. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. All of you have studied. Why did he get the title Raja? I'm not getting into that. You all have studied it. Now, everyone, should we remember personal information about these people? Everyone, should we remember the personal information about these people? See, personally, if you all ask me, we should never remember that. I'll tell you why. Guys, I have a reason for that. Even if I today tell you that he was born this year, his mother's name was this, his father's name was this, do you think you will be able to remember it if you are planning for 2025 in October mains that, okay, Raja Ram Mohan Roy's father name was this? Do you think you can? See, I always say in UPSC, what to study is important. What not to study is equally and at times more important. You should always understand what you should leave, because understand your capacity. You cannot remember these things. So, for example, born in 1772 in Bengal. Now, the languages that he knows, you should know them. Like he knows Sanskrit, Arabic, Bengali, Hebrew, Latin, Greek, English. So, guys, clearly you can see he's a multilinguist. Unfortunately, 1833 he dies. Everyone, Hayat, have patience. Everyone, can you see what I did? I have kept my personal information to bare minimum because we are more concerned with his contributions. Now, each one of you, if I tell you about the contributions, I should think about the way I would write the answer. For example, his contribution in the field of education, his contributions in the field of press, in the field of religion, what all he does for women empowerment, and he as a political activist. I would need one more side. Let me take here. He as a internationalist. Everyone, have patience. I'll explain everything. Guys, dekho, all of you, if you focus, if tomorrow there is a question to you to write the contributions of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, these are my big headings under that question. His contribution in the field of education, religion, let's say press, as a political activist, what did he do? So, for example, all of you, and let me tell you, I'm starting with education. He founded a college called Vedanta College, and he also started a college called Hindu College. Each one of you, Hindu College started along with David Hare. Along with David Hare, he had started the Hindu College. And later he started a Vedanta College where Western teachings were given. Now, all of you, if you see here, clearly he wanted Western knowledge to be given to the Indians. Each one of you, am I clear with education point? See, he might have started some other colleges also, some other schools also. I'm not denying that. Getting my point? He might have started many other. But if I remember two most important, am I able to do it or not? Similarly, for press, if I tell you, in 1809, wrote a book called Gift to Monotheists. I'll tell you this book, what this book is about. Give me 1 minute, I'll tell you about this. In fact, let me tell you, under religion, he believed in monotheism. All of you, what is monotheism? Monotheism is one God. So he believed in one God, and for to propagate that, he wrote a book called Gift to Monotheists. One God. Now, guys, both these colleges are in Calcutta. Both these colleges, please understand, his major area of work is in Bengal. Everyone, how many of you are from Calcutta? No, Aditya. How many of you are from Calcutta? In press chapter, though we would have studied it, but then I'm writing here only. He started a newspaper called Sambad Kaumudi. He started another newspaper called Mirat ul Akbar. Everyone, can you see this? Each one of you, can you see his contribution in the field of press? Everyone. Now, hopefully all of you will agree that Sati was banned because of his efforts. Everyone, will you accept this or not? That Sati was banned because of his efforts. Similarly, if I tell you, all of you, that he demanded property inheritance. Everyone, he is demanding that the women should get property inheritance rights. In those days, the women did not have the power to get the property of their parents. Now he is demanding this should be done. All of you, women empowerment is clear or not? Under religion, those who are saying he started two bodies called Atmiya Sabha and, let me write here, Brahmo Sabha. Guys, yes, see, absolutely. Dekho, all of you, if he is demanding property inheritance rights, everyone, don't you think he is in favor of gender equality? You people tell me, if somebody is demanding this, invariably he is in favor of what? Gender equality. Now, everyone, Atmiya Sabha was started in 1814, and the literal meaning of this is friendly association. It meant friendly association. And later he started a body called Brahmo Sabha. I'll tell you about this. No, he opposed. See, I'll write this. Raj is saying that, sir, he opposed idol worship. Absolutely correct. He was never in favor of idol worship. He opposed that. Guys, dekho, all of you, when I was studying this chapter, I had kept one thing in mind, that good people will support all the good things. So, everyone, do you think he will support polygamy? Tell me, guys, do you think he will support child marriage? Do you think he will support caste system? See, as a rule, I had kept this in my mind that 99% times this rule will work. Good people will always support good things. So all of you, he would oppose polygamy. Getting my point? Am I clear or not? Hayat, I'm saying he brought modernity. In fact, guys, Hayat is saying, sir, he brought modernity. Let me tell you guys, and I will write this here. People say he was the first modern man of modern India. Some people say he was the father of Indian Renaissance. Other people, they say, guys, what do they say? He was the brightest star in the Indian sky. All of you, do you see why did I tell you these three lines? Everyone, guys, if you remember such lines, they give you a better introduction or a better conclusion. You get a very good introduction or a good conclusion by writing such lines. Am I clear, everyone? Aditya, we will study that. There are different people. Yeah, Aditya. There are two Aditya here in the class. So don't worry about this. Okay. Brahmo Sabha started in Renaissance, Tanveer. Guys, they believe in Nirgun Upasana. All of you, Nirgun Upasana. Upasana means worship. Nirgun means formless worship. That is, they believed in, or they were against idol worship. The same thing. Of course, I told you guys, Brahmo Samaj also talks about monotheism. Getting my point, guys? They believe in one God. No, the purpose of this body, everyone, the purpose of these bodies is, to purify Hindu religion. I said no, all these are for the purification of one religion. No, see, everyone, Raja Ram Mohan Roy is a reformist. Please understand. He is a reformist. That's why, if you all see, he believes in logical reasoning. He believes in rational thinking. He believes in all these things. He is a modern day man. Everyone, am I clear about this? All of you, see, purify the Hindu religion. For example, take the example of Sati. Sati is a distortion of Hindu religion. He saw his own sister-in-law committing this, and that's how he became against Sati. He said, no, Sati is wrong, it should be banned. And with help of Bentinck, he got it banned. So guys, this society believes in reasoning. Anything correct or incorrect would be decided by this. Am I clear? Now, all of you, 2 points are left: political activist and internationalist. Before that, anyone, any doubt? See, if you remember this one slide, no need to do anything else. Just one slide I want. Muskan, it will come. Okay, everyone. What do you understand by internationalist? Think. What is internationalist? This point. No, these are three different things, Tanveer. Guys, very much inspired by French Revolution. French Revolution happened in 1789. You all can see he is around the same time. Getting my point? So he is a very cosmopolitan man who knows what is happening in the world. So he believes in brotherhood of not men, brotherhood of nations. It should be brotherhood of nations. What you all call na Vasudev Kutumbakam today. He believes in that. Now, everyone, I will show you one point. I will write that later, but I will show you one point. Now, tell me, do you understand that or not? Each one of you, read this point. There are three parts to this: 1, 2, and 3. Number 1. Guys, there are revolutions in those days happening in other parts of the world. He supports them. Do you get this point? He's an internationalist, so supports the revolutions that are happening in different parts of the world. Number 2, all of you, did we study absentee landlordism or not? Each one of you, did we study absentee landlordism or not? So he is condemning that also. Third, he says he will leave India or he will leave the empire if reform bill is not passed. Now, everyone, my question to you will be very, very simple. If Raja Ram Mohan Roy leaves India, where will he go? And if he leaves India, what happens? Two questions. Where does he go? And if he leaves, what happens? Guys, he is the modern man of modern India. If he leaves, this is like a black spot or defamation of the government. So he is basically threatening the government. Dekho, if you don't do this, I'll leave your place. And where will he go? Everyone. He can go to Srirampur. which is Danish area, or he can go to Chandarnagar, which is French territory, and they both are where? In Bengal. Can you see or not? Everyone. So if I have to write this also, and I'll write this also there only, 3 points. Number 1, supports revolutions of Naples and Spanish America. Number 2, condemns operation of Ireland by absentee landlords. And number 3, threatens to leave the empire. Everyone, last thing, as a political activist, how do you see him? As a political activist, condemned Bengali zamindars. We have already studied. Demands fixation of maximum rent, because we studied zamindar could demand anything from the peasant. So he's saying it is wrong. Guys, calls for reduction of export duties. We studied this also yesterday. That is Friday. And says that there should be abolition of the rights of companies. That is East India Company's rights, special rights that they had. It should be abolished so that there is a level playing field. Lastly, also demands judicial equality, because in those days, different people had different, I would say, what do you call this? Judicial equality would be Indians and Britishers would be governed by different set of laws. Getting my point? Everyone, look at the whole slide. Zamindari system was there, where zamindars were there to collect the revenue in Bihar, Bengal, Odisha. Lakshmi, I told you, zamindars would ask anything. So he's saying fix how much they can demand. Kambapati, are you asking or you are telling? Each one of you, is this clear? Reduction in export duties. Aman. Kashish, these are the books or the newspapers started by him in India in those days. Now, all of you, when did he die? He died in, okay, which paper is this? Okay, I'll write here. He died in 1833. Now, everyone tell me, is this a setback or not? Gaurav, I'll tell you. It is a setback because in those days, every big man was his supporter. They all were followers of the Samaj. So now somebody has to lead this. So guys, Devendranath Tagore now headed Brahmo Sabha. Those who don't know, Devendranath Tagore is father of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. So he is heading Brahmo Sabha at this point. And Tagore already had two bodies. Tattva, Tattva. Just one second, guys. Tattva. Tattva Bodhini Sabha, and its magazine's name was Tattva Bodhini Patrika. Sabha was there since 1839 and magazine was there in Bengali language to study India's systematic past. So he is now the founder of another body also, which is mainly doing the work for India's study of India's systematic past. Now, guys, he says certain things. Number one, please understand, repudiates. Repudiation means rejection. Repudiates, and everyone please notice this word, that Vedas are infallible. All of you, what does this mean? He is saying that we do not believe that everything written in Vedas are absolutely correct. He is saying we do not believe that Vedas are infallible. Absolutely, we do not trust this. And he also believes in no need of any priestly class for interpretation of religious writings. Everyone, for example, in our houses, those who are Hindus, Panditji comes in order to tell about the puja and all that. He says we do not need a priestly class. We do not need a class to interpret the religious writings for us. That's not needed. And here only, I forgot, I should say to you, guys, here only I'll write. In those days, he translated Vedas and Upanishads. All of you, you can see he had learnt all these languages because Raja Ram Mohan Roy wanted to study original books. So if he's going to study Quran, he wants to study it in Arabic, not a translated version. But then he had translated Vedas and Upanishads from Sanskrit to Bengali. So that, in order to prove certain things that he was saying in those days. So he's a multilinguist, which I have clearly showed to you. Now, everyone, for 2 minutes, just give me 1 minute to write this and I'll explain this. Each one of you. Devendranath Tagore led Brahmo Samaj had their first split in 1865. Everyone, Adi means old. So old Brahmo Samaj was continued to be led by Devendranath Tagore. But then Keshav Chandra Sen and Anand Mohan Bose, they formed another body known as All India Brahmo Samaj. Everyone, am I clear with this? All of you, am I clear with this? Basically, what they are doing is they are vacating equally same, Abdullah, don't worry about that. Now all of you, if anyone asks you why this, why was this being done, that's the name, Muskan. Sacred thread was allowed in Brahmo Samaj meetings, and Keshav Chandra Sen opposed this. So Devendranath Tagore had dismissed Keshav Chandra Sen from the body, and he formed his separate body at this point. Later, guys, there was another split, and this time the split is in 1878. Some of the followers, they have gone ahead and formed Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. Now all of you, why? Because Keshav Chandra Sen married his own daughter, and guys, I should write minor daughter, I'll write here, to the king of Kuch Bihar. Now all of you, you tell me, if you people were supporters of Keshav Chandra Sen, will you not ask him that, Mr. Sen, all your life you have opposed child marriage. Now why are you getting your own daughter, who is a minor, married to a child? Each one of you, will you ask this or not? Very simple thing. That why are you opposing your or marrying your own daughter, who is hardly say 13 years old? This is wrong. And guys, by this time what had happened was that Keshav Chandra Sen had been glorified by his supporters as an incarnation, that he's an incarnation. So all this basically is what? Conservatism. The ideas with which this Brahmo Sabha had been started, they are being dropped, and they are moving towards the old dogmatic ideas. Everyone, am I clear here or not? All of you, am I clear with your entire Brahmo Samaj or not? Everyone, is Brahmo Samaj entirely clear or not? Aditya, I told you, na, sacred thread. Keshav Chandra Sen wants to bring some new, Devendranath Tagore had started this sacred thread and all, and Keshav Chandra Sen had opposed this. Incarnation means in Hindi Tanveer Avatar. No, Anurag, this will continue to be the same one. Keshav Chandra Sen will lead this body. Supporters started glorifying Keshav Chandra Sen, Prithvi. Kambapati, I wrote, na, Sadharan Brahmo Samaj was started by A.M. Bose. Sacred thread. Hindus tie in a sacred thread, Aditya. Muskan, the organization's name is Tattvabodhini Sabha, and they have a patrika. Patrika means your magazine. Tattvabodhini Patrika. Sai Dinesh, that's the thing. Nobody knows why he did that. So his supporters are angry that aap kehte ho, you tell us that do not do this, and you yourself are doing this. On what account can we support you now? Everyone, is this clear? No, no, Anurag, you are correct. It's not the same thing. Sacred thread is not in the hand. It's like Janeu that is worn by the people. Okay, everyone. I hope this is clear. And this is a wrong. 8th is done. Ninth. Everyone, we gave almost 45 minutes to Brahmo Sabha. Which question, Gib? We do the questions on Friday, Gib. See, everyone, those who are new to the class, on all the on the Fridays we do all the PYQs. Am I clear? Gib, we do that on Friday. All the PYQs we discuss on Friday. So not now, here. Each one of you. A teacher in Hindu college from 1826 to 31, and his life tenure is 1809 to 31. So dies at a very, very young age. But then within that, he has started a Young Bengal movement. All of you, see here, most of his supporters are youngsters, and this movement is also around Bengal. So the movement is known as Young Bengal Movement, and his supporters after his name are called Derosians. Henry Vivian Derosio Ankur. Now, all of you tell me one thing. Will he be inspired by French Revolution or not? Everyone, will he be inspired or not inspired by? Guys, I told you, Raja Ram Mohan Roy is inspired by French Revolution, and Derosians are supporters of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So invariably, they are also inspired by French Revolution. Am I clear about this? Now, all of you, will I be correct to say, due to his early demise, movement came to an end? Just give me 1 second. Everyone, is this clear? Because he died at such a young age, this movement also came to an early end. But then, within that, he has done enough to come in the UPSC syllabus. You all can see he is also considered as, perhaps, I should write here the word perhaps, the first nationalist poet of modern India. He is perhaps the first poet, nationalist poet. Now, in your Bipin Chandra, it is mentioned that he would make or he would write poems in those days. So, perhaps he was known as the first nationalist poet. Do remember, because you may not remember it. Most of the times, people will not be able to think like this, that why was he known as the poet? No, he's not a foreigner. Please understand. His father was of Portuguese origin, but mother was Indian origin. So he was from India only. No, invariably, if he's inspired by that, he would have radical thoughts on liberty as well as freedom. Guys, this is also one of the reasons that people could not subscribe to his ideas. Because when you are very, very radical, it's not possible for you people to, follow the things. Am I clear? Lakshmi, you cannot know everything. No, Anglo-Indian basically means Anglo refers to English. One side of the parentage should be British. That's why I have not used the word Anglo-Indian. Anglo is not that fazza. Am I clear? See, other reason can be could not connect with the masses. Of course, too radical, didn't get the support of educated middle class. All these are the reasons. Everyone, is Henry Vivian Derozio clear? No, see, he's also a, I would say, reformist only, opposes customs, did demand Indians, for example, demanded Indians for high posts. This was his demand. When you oppose many of the customs, Priyanshu, you become too radical for the people. So his drinking habits or his fooding habits would be very, very against of the people of that era. So he was considered to be too radical. Each one of you, am I clear till here? I said Tanveer, he's considered as that because he had written poems. Rakesh, how does that matter? Maybe because I think, maybe because of cholera. But who died because of what? Nobody will ask you. Everyone, one more person from Bengal, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Some of you might be knowing his name. Vidyasagar is his title, means ocean of knowledge. Whenever anyone is talked with regards to empowerment of women, this man's name would be first. Guys, protested against child marriage, worked for widow remarriage, opposed polygamy. For this, he got Widow Remarriage Act passed in 1856, wrote a book known as Bahu Vivah, and wrote a book called Bidvo Vivah for these two. Guys, he's not somebody who only preaches. He got his own son married to a widow in those days. And apart from this, his big job is for women education. In those days, he was working as a government inspector of schools and had organized 35 girls' schools, many of them at his own expense. Many of this were at his own expenses. He had got all this done. Similarly, guys, became secretary to Bethany School. This was another pioneer school for women education. So did a lot for women education. Everyone, can you see all these are points under what? Empowerment of women. Each one of you, can you see this or not? Apart from this, all of you devised a new Bengali primer. In those days in Bengali, many of the letters that they were using were basically the letters from Hindi. So he developed the original Bengali alphabets. Even today in I think Bengal, that is taught. The book name is Barn Parichay. Similarly, developed prose style of writing. Then another thing he did was opened the gates of the Sanskrit college for non-Brahmin students. Everyone, in those days, Sanskrit was only reserved for the Brahmin students. He said, no, it can be taught to the non-Brahmins also. So when he was the principal of Sanskrit college, he opened the gates of this for the non-Brahmin students also. Am I clear, everyone? All of you, is this clear? Everyone here in this class, is Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar clear? Bahu means many. So basically the book's name is, he's against the many marriages. Priyanshu, which point? Government inspector, he has opened many colleges. Ankur, there would be many more points, but then this much is more than sufficient for writing a 150 words question. Varn Parichay, Varn, sometimes also written as Varn Parichay. Varn means alphabet, Parichay means introduction. Motam, not needed. Absolutely not needed. You cannot remember. See, I have been teaching for more than 10 years now, 11 to be precise. I don't know when was he born. Muskan, I told alphabets. He developed the Bengali alphabets. 10th. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. Everyone, Bethany School, Tanveer. All of you, many of you might be knowing him. We are coming to which place? Maharashtra. The title Phule comes from the word fool, meaning flower, because his family was in the business of horticulture. Everyone, horticulture, you understand? His family was in the business of the horticulture. That's why his surname became Phule from the word fool. In Hindi, that means flower. Now, the greatest man starts the Dalit movement in our country. He is the pioneer of the Dalit movement. So clearly, guys, you can understand he is working for the upliftment of the lower castes of the country. And as such, he would be opposed to the Brahminical supremacy. He would be totally against the Brahminical supremacy. Am I clear, everyone? All of you. Is this clear? Now, he started a body known as Satya Shodhak Samaj. This is a body which was started in 1873 by him. All of you, Satya Shodhak, you can see the name only clearly shows that this is a society of seekers of truth. Those who are seeking the truth, they have started this society. I'm again repeating, guys, this is a society which wants to uplift the lower caste as well as the untouchables from the exploitation, from the oppression that they might be facing in these areas. Everyone, any doubt till here? No, we will talk about that also. His wife's name is Savitri Bai Phule. All of you. See, this will be the last topic for the day. I'll end the class 15 minutes early today. I'm totally exhausted. This will be the last. So just 10-15 more minutes. Yes, great. Those who do not know about Savitri Bai Phule, go and study about her. Great lady. She's a big reformist of that era. And they are the biggest reformers of Western India. You know, Maharashtra, I wrote here. And in Maharashtra, I was just there in Pune. So from Pune they are. And yes, first female teacher in India. Now, guys, if you see here, Phule comes from a family, you can see, that's why I told you his family is in horticulture business. They have money. So Phule has studied in an English school. He did his study from Scottish Mission High School and completed the schooling in around 1847. And as in those days it used to happen, he would be married to a young Savitri Bai Phule. Now, guys, understand, his wife was illiterate, but Mahatma Jyotiba Phule taught his wife. so that she could teach the girls. So guys, you can understand she is a very, very important what? Feminist reformer, opened schools for untouchable girls in those days. Yes, he was from the Mali community, gardener community. You can say that. Now, see, again, understand, guys, his life was going on good. But then in one, function, he was attending the marriage of one of his friends. And there, the friend belonged to upper caste, and their parents scolded him that why have you attended the marriage? So from there, he understood that there are many problems in society. And there was a very famous author. Name of the author was Thomas Paine, and he had written a book called The Rights of Man. So this also had inspired. This was an inspiration for Jyotiba Phule. And he wrote many books later, guys. His one book was very, very famous, known as Gulam Giri. Another book named as Sarvajanik, Satya Dharma. They all became very, very famous in those days. Now, everyone, I'll show you two lines. Just see these two lines. Do you understand these two lines or not? All of you, just see these two lines. This is what he is against, and this is what he is supporting. Everyone, do you understand that there are some inequalities in our religious books? Each one of you. Do you understand this point or not? Best example is, let's say, take a book called Manusmriti. He says that there are inequalities here. He opposes this. All of you, will you believe or will you accept this or not, that many times the religion is very, very orthodox, and because of the orthodoxity, the masses get exploited by it? Many times we people follow blind, misleading rituals, and there are hypocrisy in the religion. Everyone, tell me. I'll give you a very simple example. Yeah, Anurag. Everyone, tell me. This is a temple. When the construction of the temple was happening, it was the people from the untouchable or the lower caste category who built the temple. And later, it is the same people who are not allowed to enter the temple or even the roads that lead to these temples. Now, everyone, tell me. On one hand, you say that everybody is the son of the same God. And on the other hand, you are not allowing them to enter these temples. Is this hypocrisy or not? Everyone, tell me. Is this hypocrisy or not? He says we should chunk this. We should leave this. Rather, we should go for betterment of everyone. We should look for human happiness, human unity, human equality, and would go for better religious principles and rituals. Each one of you, am I clear with these two statements? Look at this. All of you, am I clear with these two statements or not? Guys, so just remember, because he is against the Brahminical supremacy, he asks his supporter to not worship God Ram, whom he believes is the symbol of Brahmins. Rather, worship Bali, that use the symbol Raja Bali rather than Ram. Now, remember, for these schools, his supporters are Bhaudaji and Jagannath Shankar Seth. They are the active supporters or active promoters who supported them with money so that these schools could run. And later, guys, he got involved in widow remarriage movements also. He supported widow remarriage. Aditya, don't get into that. That's a story which, but then it's not related to Ramayana. All of you, last thing for the day, just listen to me very carefully. See here. Carson Das Mulji, Satya Prakash Gujarati. Now, everyone, listen to me. There is a person in Western India whose name is Carson Das Mulji. He wrote a book called Satya Prakash in Gujarati language supporting widow remarriage. Everyone, in exam, what they will do is, instead of Satya Prakash, they will write the book's name was Satyarth Prakash. Instead of Gujarati, they will write Marathi. Instead of widow remarriage, they will write child marriage. All of you, are you getting my point? How they will change this thing? Everyone, they will simply change these things. So remember this for prelims, that in Western India, there was one person here who did this all. Last but not the least, there is another person named Vishnu Shastri Pandit who had started a widow remarriage association around 1850s in this side. Guys, it is 7:44. I'm closing the lecture 6 minutes early. Anyone having any doubt in this slide, ask me. Anyone having any doubt with regards to anything of the present class, ask me. No, Anurag, I could not bring. I'm not, I could not bring. I'm really sorry. I'll bring a book tomorrow. Any doubt, anyone, please ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you do not have any doubt, you can move away, go rest, enjoy. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. Supreet, make very small notes. Lakshmi, VS, I did not get. Vishnu Shastri. Thank you, Simran. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Rakesh. Hayat will continue with social religious reform movement only. Dilip, which Karan Das topic you are asking? I did not get. Lakshmi, you can have a glance. Most of the things is done. No, Ravi, we will be doing it for 2 more days. Gib, 8 p.m. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Kambapati. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Sai Dinesh. Mutam, I said in the first class only, you can do that. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you, Amitabha. I hope you enjoyed the class. Those who have any doubts, please write the mail also. I'll be more than happy to reply over there also. Goodbye, Aarti. Thank you, Sundar. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Sonal. No, Gib, this year we are having 3 hours classes. Carson Das Mulji. Dilip, I said now everything is written here. See this. Who is boss here? Yes, Aditya. Mari, I think this is a problem only with you. Write a mail, I'll look into this. Vagela, were you not in the first class or not? Thank you, Yuvraj. Thank you, Motam. Thank you, Rajib. Thank you, Sayyid. Good night, Lakshmi. Thank you. 2 more class, Ankur. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you, Bemi. Nutan, it depends from question to question. Yeah, Gib, that's why we reduced it. Thank you, Jayashri. Which timetable, Muskan, you are asking? Tanveer, they are saying don't worship Ram, rather worship Bali. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Matangi. Thank you, Aditya. Thanks, Aditya. Aditya, make small notes so that you can do the quick revision. That's the thing. Thank you, Gib. What's your original name? Guys, if you are listening to the CNA, please do comment. Please do like. Please make your comments over there. Muskan, write a mail. I'll look into this. Okay, Gibran. Good. Good night, Puneet. Thank you, Tanveer. Thank you, Tanuja. Anyone else? Anyone else having any query? Good night, Muskan. Thank you, Mari. Anyone still having any other doubt? Thank you, Ankur. Gib, you can do the Bipin Chandra. Muskan, thank you. Thank you, Minu. Good night. Good night, Arumita. No, Nutan, it depends. If you write an answer, I can give you idea. Yeah, Aditya, but I'll take everybody's query, then I'll quit. Thank you. Thank you, Shargun. Thank you, Gib. 2 more minutes. Anyone having any other doubt, please ask me. Everyone, I'll wrap up the session if there is no other query, if there is no one else in the class. Thank you, Yogita. Mari, please write your mail now. What exactly you are asking about offline class? I'm not sure what you are asking. Have you written a mail to me? Anyone still in the class? If you are there, it's okay. If you are not there, I'll wrap up the session. Muskan, write the mail. I'll send you the link. You can go through that. Muskan, I told you, write the mail. Good, Muskan. Aditya, I'll try to help you. Okay, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye bye.